When thinking of one of the examples. Letter D for today. What? I mean 8W minus 10. Can you give me a for example?
So it would be 4 parentheses 2W or 2 parentheses 4W.
The bigger one would go on the other side if that's what you're factoring out. I don't. Right, give me the whole problem from the beginning. What's the whole problem? 8W minus 10, right? And you factored out a 2. That has to be the one that goes on the outside. Because that's what you're taking out of both. And you end up with a 4W minus 5. You can't put the 4W out of here, or the 4 out of here, because then you're multiplying 4 times 5 and that would give you a 20, not 10. Who's your problem? Alright, write this down here, children. Here's what you need to remember. Please excuse my dear Aunt what? Sally. Because when we do order of operations, you have to follow this pattern of doing it. The letter P stands for you always do parentheses first. Although that's kind of, parentheses are another word for grouping symbols. And we have a bunch of different grouping symbols. Besides parentheses, another form of grouping symbols would be brackets, would be braces, would be absolute value signs, would be fraction bars. A fraction line is a grouping symbol where you do the top and then you do the bottom and then you do whatever's left there. If I can think of any other ones, is there? Okay. The letter E, step number 2, is exponents and roots. Level 3 is multiplication and division. And make sure you write when you do that from left to right. From left to right. And the very last thing you do ever is to add and subtract from left to right. What is that awful? Just be projected, I think I'm saying.
It sounds like there's like a little fade.
It does sound like that, doesn't it? You should change the.
Cool.
You should do the filter. I heard something mumbling something about turning it off, but I didn't hear the rest. It kind of faded out. Is that you, Cameron? What was it? As much as I'd like to, we've already taken a break too much. Write down these examples, children. Here is where you show the teacher that you don't want 3 days worth of homework. I'll show you when. Does sound like it's getting louder. Okay. And most people, and I can't blame you, but I can criticize you for it, want to do a whole bunch of steps all at once. And I'm going to say, if you're really interested in getting the problem right, okay, this one, please excuse me. If you want to get the problem right, take your time and just do one step at a time. In other words, check them off as you go. First thing I should do is parentheses, so that means my 7 plus 8 is 15. Even though that's addition, because it's in parentheses, it gets done first. So now you still have this, 20 minus 2 times 3 squared plus 15 divided by 5. Next on my little order of operations is to do exponents, powers, roots, whatever, which there's only this one here. So that ends up being 20 minus 2 times 3 is 9 plus 15 divided by 5. So far so good. Now I do multiplication and division from left to right. They fall on the same order of operations. So I just work my way here. Here's my first, it's multiplication. 20 minus 18 plus whatever 15 divided by 5 is, which is 3. Get excited here. And then, last but certainly not least, addition and subtraction again from left to right. You don't do 18 plus 3 is 21 and then subtract it. You do 20 minus 18 is 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5. When you do this all correctly, children, you get, I like to say, the little tornado effect. All the way down to the nice little one. Questions on that? I'll give you another one, because there are a couple different ones where you gotta see here. Take a look, this is where things get a little goofy. 10 minus, erase my favorite symbol of all, 8 minus bracket minus, I'm sorry, 6 minus parenthesis 5 minus 3 parenthesis bracket raise.
Oh my god.
What are we gonna do first?
Well, that's why we do this here, so you can see this. Take a look here, and again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, the first thing you do are the parentheses or the grouping symbols, in which you see there's a whole bunch of them. Well, the first one you come to this is, inside grouping symbols, you have to follow order of operations as well. Which means, now I'm just thinking about this piece, I have to go, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Well, inside that bracket is another set of grouping symbols, which is this one. And inside that is another set of grouping symbols, which is this one. This would be the first thing I do, because it's grouping symbols inside of grouping symbols inside of grouping symbols. Okay, I don't do this big outside one until I simplify this all down without parentheses inside that. So you're just going to take 5 minus 3, which is 2. You've still got all of this left. Now inside this I have to finish this grouping symbol, which is 6 minus 2. And then inside that I'm still working on this grouping symbol, which is 8 minus 4. And then addition, subtraction from left to right, which is 6. It's grouping symbols inside of grouping symbols inside of grouping symbols. And then a couple more examples. These are good ones as well. Absolute value of 2 minus 7. The square root of 9 plus 16. That was another grouping symbol I missed. And 12 times 12 over 3 plus 3. Okay, these are all grouping symbols. This is a grouping symbol, this is a grouping symbol and that's a grouping symbol. Calvin? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm worried. Eighth grade's next door?
Yep.
Okay. Here's where people go wrong. They see this, children, and they think, oh, the square root of 9 is 3 and the square root of 16 is 4, so my answer is 7. That is incorrect. This is a grouping symbol, which means you need to simplify this. You need to add those together before you take the absolute value sign. Or I'm sorry, before you take the square root of that. So it actually ends up being the square root of 25, which is 5. Okay, because exponents and powers and roots come after grouping symbols, and this is a grouping symbol. Okay, same thing with this. Have we done absolute value yet?
Yeah.
Absolute value makes everything positive. So a lot of people think, well, this is 2 plus 7 and it's 9. No, you have to do this first. What is 2 minus 7, which is a negative 5? Then you take its absolute value, which is a positive 5. Same thing here. Okay, you need to simplify the top, which is 12 times 12. Simplify the bottom, which is 6, and then divide the 6 into 144 for the 24. I believe. A lot of people make those mistakes a lot of times. Isn't that exciting?
Yes, it was.
So let me give you one. Let's try this one here. Four plus 11 minus 3 squared times 2 cubed. Go ahead and do that for me. What do you get if you have 4 plus parenthesis 11 minus 3 squared times 2 cubed? Get for me an answer there. Again, if you're looking to future will be a little tornadoes or cyclonish effect. Ed, you should be pretty much done. Ed, you good for an answer there. Stupford says,
20,
what?
20.
Anybody else get 20? Oh, we've got dissension in the ranks. Grace says 48. Anybody get 48? Oh boy. Jervis? Madison? 28? Somebody jumping on that bandwagon? Kala? 48. Luzo? Not done yet. 68. Now, let's see where we may or may not have made our mistakes here. First thing you're supposed to do is parentheses, so you need to do this parenthesis, and then inside parentheses you have to use order of operations, which would be powers first. So in reality, the first thing you would have done was done 11 minus 9 times 2 cubed, and then 11 minus 9 is 2, so 4 plus 2 times 2 to the third power. Then you go to excuse, which is exponents and powers, which would be this 2 to the third power, which is 8. Okay. Then you do multiplication division, which is only this, 4 plus 16. And then you do addition subtraction, which would be 4 plus 16, which is 1, 2.
Yes.
Stop me there. What'd you do wrong, Grace Watson?
I didn't do multiplication first.
Yeah, 4 plus 2 is 6. People do that all the time. Anybody else got a reason why they did something wrong, Ryan?
I divided 8 times 2 instead of 2 times 8.
You got 1/4?
No, I got 4.
Oh. Okay.
But that
Alright, take out another blank piece of paper.